What's going on, guys? Today we are going to show you how to remove all the emblems, including the front, rear, and the dual motor badge, and how to put it on with our emblem kit. So before we get started, the main thing that you should consider is make sure you at least do a basic wash on your car, because we don't want a lot of debris around the area when you're doing this. You're going to be rubbing some of the tools in that area, so you just don't want to rub dirt. So once the car is clean, like so, the first step you're going to be doing is you have to heat up the adhesive, so the adhesive actually loosens up, and that makes it easier to come out a lot cleaner. So in our kit, we actually provide you with a heat gun like this. It's a very, very small, it's perfect for small do-yourself projects. This isn't necessarily the best for, let's say, like wrapping cars, because the nozzle is just too small. So the key thing here, I just want to give you a quick warning, is whenever you're heating anything really in any projects, you want to be about, I would say a little bit under like a hang loose, or like under 6 inches, and you want to keep your heat gun moving. So instead of like having in one area, you want to make sure you're moving it around, and that disperses the heat a lot better, and you're also not going to damage the actual emblem. You may use this later down the line, so you want to keep it nice and safe. When you are doing this too, one pro tip is to put it over your shoulder so that none of the cable is on the actual car. So let's turn this on. We got some heat. There we go. So the main thing I'm trying to do is you could heat up the whole thing, but we're going to start with that bar first. So when you touch it, it should be pretty hot, but not to the point where you can't actually touch it. Now we're going to go ahead and grab our emblem removal tool. So you want to get a little bit under like so, and you're going to go out wide and just run it across like this. When you get to the end, be very, very careful. This could damage parts of this area, so you just want to make sure you're a little bit careful and just pull it into that. And now we're going to go ahead and heat this area. All right, so same thing for the T. You're going to start at the side and then just start your way, and then once you're in, you can go ahead and focus on getting under all of that. And what I like to do is I like to exit at the bottom of that T and then just go all the way out and just gently take it out. And now we have a lot of residue from this. So we also provide this thing, and this is called the eraser wheel. And what this does is it allows us to remove some of that residue without damaging the car. However, there is a little bit of risk. So whenever you're doing this, do not have a massive high RPM. Usually I have it on really low setting, like 1, and making sure that it's just rotating. And you don't also want to stay in one area for long periods of time. So what you're going to be doing is you're just going to be hitting the adhesive and kind of moving it around. All right, so once you get to that point, it's going to wipe down some of that residue. Use a couple dabs of 70% alcohol, and we're just going to wipe it out. Okay? And you can see that already there's an outline. This emblem's never been removed. So we're going to go ahead and go over the outline a little bit more. It's actually removing parts of that eraser wheel. So as this wears out, you don't want to keep using the eraser wheel. You want to replace it. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and wipe it down. Okay, we're going to keep going. Go ahead and use some more alcohol. So I've gone through it about, I would say about 4 passes. But what you're looking for is just running your finger, and as long as you can't feel it, you should be good to go. Of course, if you have access to a DA polisher, we would polish this out, even out that clear coat a little bit, and that'll get rid of it. You just need to go through a one pass and a one step, and that should get rid of it. So if you have access to that, this is the time to do it. Once you have a very smooth and clear surface, when you're actually wrapping like color or PPF, this will be perfectly fine. And of course, we're going to be putting another emblem on top, so it'll be hidden once it's installed. Let's go ahead and do the rear badge. Same thing, put it around your shoulder and go ahead and turn it on. And we're going to start with the top tip like we did on the front badge. And once I do that, we're going to go ahead and start from that tip again, just like we did. Wow, look how easy that comes out. And once you get to the end, slow down because it might rub against the wrong part. All right, there you go. So this is slightly thicker than the front one. And now let's go ahead and get back to heating. Okay, that should be good. Again, about 4 to 6 passes with this heat gun. Start from this side. And then once you get here, you could extend it out. One thing to note is that there is a curvature, of course, with the trunk. So when you get here, I like to kind of get. Okay. Once you get to this point, you could extend it out again and go all the way down to the bottom. And then gently remove it straight out. One tip right here is if it's really, really hot around the area, I do let it rest maybe for a few minutes, 4 to 5 minutes, and then after that I can use a eraser wheel. You're going to go ahead and grab another clean microfiber, put a couple dabs, 2 or 3 dabs. You're going to go ahead and start cleaning this out. There's a couple areas I'm going to go over again. Perfect. For this one, this is a 2021, so it's actually over 2 years old, and it's been through a little bit of, abuse, right? So you're gonna see a little bit of the outline, but same thing, you see a little bit less than you did in the front. Usually the rear isn't as affected because the sun is really beating down in that front, whereas this one isn't. So you're just gonna do the same thing. You're gonna make sure you feel for anything, and I felt that there was no rough patches. You could do it a few times, and if you feel it, you could use the eraser wheel and make this smooth. So now we're down to the dual motor badge. You might have just the dual motor, or you might have the dual motor with the red line. And what that means is performance, right? So with this installation kit, it'll work for all of them, but the same process, you're gonna go ahead and heat it. I usually kind of separate it by 2. You do the dual first, and then after that, do the motor. So let's go ahead and do that. Again, the removal tool. In this case, I like to kind of keep it small, so I have a little bit more control. Just get underneath. Oh, that falls out real easy. Be careful with this. Try not to swing it out like I did in the first one. You're gonna go ahead and do 1 letter at a time. Just grab it, put it aside. You're gonna go ahead and use the eraser wheel as well. Okay, this is what it kind of should look like. We're going to grab the clean microfiber, grab some of our alcohol again, 2 to 3 dabs, 70% alcohol, and we're going to go ahead and clean this area. And right away, it is nearly off. I'm gonna go ahead and use the eraser wheel. All right, that looks really good. So at this point, you're going to be doing the same thing, right? You're gonna make sure that you can't feel any of the adhesive or anything like that, and you should be good to go. Or I could polish it if you need to kind of even it out. So in this case, I'm fine with that. I wanna make sure that there's no debris. We actually offer two kits. It's going to be a chrome kit, which is going to be what you had before. And you also have a matte black kit, right? The reason why we're not reusing the logos is you can actually reuse it, but you would have to get like a scraper and scrape off all the adhesive on the actual logo itself, clean it up really, really good, and then put adhesive tape. We just felt like for a better experience, we're just going to provide you the emblem so that you could just put it on. And if you want to save it for later and change it back to chrome, you still have it, and so you just keep it. So let's go ahead and open up the frunk. We have the app right here, and this one's actually installed with the auto frunk, so it's gonna go all the way up. And I'm gonna just slowly bring it back down. It has a sensing, so if I go too fast, it's actually gonna bring it all the way down. You could actually use like an alcohol bottle, or really any bottle, so that it just touches right here. Because all you're needing is this top part of the latch. So we also provide, this is a licensed product that we were able to get access to, and it makes it so much easier, right? So what you do is there's a little U shaped right here. It goes right into that latch. You hold that center down, and now you have a perfect V right there. Sometimes if it makes it easier, I'll put tape. So that might help. But now that we have our template already installed, you're gonna go ahead and grab the T. And this is kind of like your reference of how much distance it should be from the other one. And there's an adhesive right here underneath. You're gonna go ahead and peel that. And we're gonna go ahead and align this. And again, push that middle, and that's your alignment point. And just go all the way down, and perfect placement. And you want to push this down gently at first because it's going to move, and then you're just going to push while you have this bracket down. Go ahead and remove the adhesive off the top bar, or you're going to go ahead and just line this up, and then that allows you to place that bar area exactly where it needs to be. And then once you have that, you can go ahead and remove the template. And then you're going to do the same thing. You're going to push this down gently at first because it's not fully adhered. And then go ahead and just firmly push that down. And then you can remove this. So for the rear, for the Model Y, there is a curvature, and it is not the same as the front, of course. And the logos are slightly different, right, because of the back part of the truck that has that bed. And the way this works is this bracket actually uses a camera to actually line up the alignment right here. So you can see right here, the camera, and then you're just gonna place it down. And that's going to be the alignment of that V part. And like we said earlier, you could actually put tape, like frog tape, masking tape, like so. And you're gonna go ahead and remove the adhesive underneath. Try to avoid touching that. And same thing, we're gonna go ahead and align this right into that valley. And you're just gonna start from the middle and just gently push it down as well. And once that's on, you could actually remove this. And since we have this template right here, we just need to remove the adhesive for the little top bar. There we go. And then put it through the logo. It's perfect alignment. At this point, this is the time to adjust if you have any adjustments that you need to make. Now, once you're happy with it, you're gonna start from the middle and just gently push it in. And then after that, you want to just make sure that you really push it in, and that will make it adhere. The first step is going to be aligning this to the top part, and it should look something like this. Right here is right to the edge, all about here, right to that corner, right to the edge of the side. Once you feel comfortable, you're going to go ahead and remove that, and then go ahead and align it back up. That's perfect. That's perfect. And then you're just going to push that down. And don't worry too much about having bubbles or anything. All you're worried about is so that it's adhered. And you actually don't want to push it too hard because this is going to be a very temporary, right? Once you do that, you're going to go ahead and remove the second part of it, which is right here, and just push all of that area down as well. And then lastly, we have the third one, the most important part, and you're going to go ahead, just let it relax. So now that we have this alignment point done, you're going to grab your dual motor badge, which comes in this little plastic bag, and you want to peel this white backing paper. And what's important is if you do not want to put the red line, go ahead and remove it at this point. You're going to go ahead and just take that out, right? But everything is aligned. All you have to do is align it right to the top of the edge, okay? So you're not trying to align it right here, but you're using our guideline and just making sure that that's good all the way up to here, aligning it, and then just pushing it down. And then once you go one more time, you're going to go a little bit harder the second time, and you're just going to go into the letters all individually, and I'll use your thumb. And then in this case, you don't want to slide it. You're just going to go little by little, inch by inch. And once you get to this point, you're going to go ahead and just gently move that. And then you have a dual motor installed. Well, thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you like the video, please click on that subscribe button. It's really hot in here. We just got this new space. We got really excited, so we just started moving everything over. But there's no AC yet, so I apologize for all the sweating. But we're going to get this place worked up really, really nice, and it's going to be a rap studio and also our content studio. So we're going to get a big uplift in the next week, so stay tuned. If you have any questions, let us know in the comments below. And if you need any help, always reach out to us and we'll be happy to help.